Well, today I'd like to talk about roles. Of course, our company here and our whole website is all the hats we wear. So I've got to talk about roles. That's the most important part. So what exactly is a role? Well, a role is a category in your life that you need to have a lot of focus. It's going to be something you're going to have to dedicate quality time to, regular quality time, if not weekly, probably daily. So you want to identify all these hats you wear because this is how we transition through life, through all our different hats that we wear. So now there are a couple of reasons why we should create our own role list. And a role list is a list of about 15 to 20 different roles that you play, different hats that you wear. Now, here's some of the big reasons that you want to do this. One is that creating your list of roles is going to give you the bird's eye view. You're going to get a different perspective looking up above instead of being in it and being knee deep in your busy life, not being able to make too many choices of how you're reacting to everything. So that's going to help you. I've often found that I'm very interested in dioramas. When you see a huge table with like, tiny models of skyscrapers or a city or something like that, and you can just stand up above it and just look from above. I always liked that view. I always wanted to have a diorama. So it gives you the bird's eye view. Another reason that you want a role list is that it helps you become more aware of all the transitions that you have throughout the day. All day long, we're transitioning between all these different hats that we wear. Each role requires different attributes that we have. So you want to be able to be aware of when you're making those switches. I give the example of a Marine drill sergeant who is, super intense and overbearing at work. And then that person goes home. Now they're with their young kids or their relationships, and you can't be the same. The attributes that make you a really good Marine drill sergeant are not going to make you very effective for being at home. So you want to make those transitions. Also, there's different energy that's required. You kind of have to show up a little bit differently in a lot of roles. I'm not saying they're a different person, but you do have to make some switches. Another reason why you want a role list is that when you have a crisis, you don't want to think that your whole life is down the tubes. When you have clearly identified roles and you have a crisis, then you can say, well, that's just one area of my life that's having some trouble right now. So it's nice to be able to separate that. If you're a student and you're having a tough time with a class, that's not your whole life. That's one portion of your life. So it's important. Also, having a role list helps you to bridge the gap to the future. You don't want to just have a role list of roles that you're doing now. That's kind of boring. You want to have roles that are future roles for you as well. So it might be maybe you want to be a supervisor or a manager or whatever is further along of where you are career-wise, or whatever you're trying to do. If you want to be a business owner, you want to be a salesperson. So this helps you to connect those from the present day to what you're looking forward to. Some of my roles, and I'll give you an example of my role list, but some of my roles I'm not doing right now. I'm not a philanthropist. I can't say that I'm a philanthropist, but it's one of my roles. So I can focus on it. I can start to give of my time. I can learn how other people give. I can give in different ways. Okay, maybe I can start giving in a smaller way and then work up. So let me give you an example of my set list. Here are, I think it's 21 roles. And again, I don't do this just to give yourself more work, and to have more things to juggle. It's really about self-awareness, knowing what's important and what you're trying to do. So here's my role list. I'm a meditator and spiritual being. I'm a visionary. I have a lean body. I'm a wealth builder. I'm a giver and philanthropist in the making. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I'm a family member and friend. I'm a happy hobbyist. I'm a movie buff. I'm a chef and mixologist. I'm a joker. I'm a writer. I'm the founder and CEO of All the Hats We Wear Coaching. I'm the #1 customer of All the Hats We Wear. I'm a self-development expert. I'm a professional speaker. I'm a life coach and executive coach. I'm a sales pro with swag. I'm a business student. I'm a music therapist and musician. So those are some of my roles. Well, those are all of my roles. And I list them up because all of these roles require different things. As a salesperson, that's a different role, and that's a totally different, unique skill set that I can work on. So you work on it. You can now switch to professional speaking. That's, exercises that you can do every day to work on your speaking. So very clear examples of how you can work in all these different areas. So once you have your role list, well, I wanted to say one more thing about role list. You want to think of it like your favorite band has a set list. You see, I saw the Rolling Stones a couple years ago, and they have a set list, and it's printed right on the stage. It's taped onto the bottom of the stage. And the players, they can tell what is the order and what's, going to be played for the songs. Now, it's not just a list of all the songs that they do. There's some songs in there that are new. They might be working on. They might not have done for a long time, and they're bringing it back. So there's some specialty spots in there. And the same thing with your role list. Your role list isn't going to have songs, it's going to have roles, but you can also have those future ones, things you're working on. You don't have to be perfect at that role to have it on your list. That's my big point. Be bold, have that creativity and that inspiration. A lot of times I see people have it's just a lack of imagination with their self-awareness of their roles. You don't want to say that you're the taxi driver for your family. That could be a role, but it's not very inspiring. You want to have roles that really inspire you. When I say that I'm a visionary, that inspires me. That changes how I do things. Now I read the paper and I'm thinking, I'm a visionary now. How do I read the paper? What do these articles mean to me? And what are the trends in the world? And how does that affect me? Now that's a wholly different thing, as a visionary would do it. So it's adopting a new energy. It's adopting a new identity. That the #1 nonfiction book for I don't know how long, The Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about identity as being a really important way to change your habits. When you identify yourself as an athlete, it's because if you're exercising every day, if you're jogging, 4 times a week, then you're going to believe that your identity is an athlete or a runner. But if you hardly ever do anything, then it's going to be tougher for you to believe that identity. So once you switch that identity in your mind, now you're already headed to where you want to go. So once you have your role list, here are some next steps, just so you know where this is going. It's not just to make the list. You could start making goals for your roles. You can create habits for your roles. You can start to create a mini mission statement for each role. I have that, and I have it recorded. I listen in my car every day. You can start to think of projects related to your roles. You can do a wheel of life assessment, where these are all of your roles, and give them a 1 to 10 rating on all your different roles. 1 terrible to 10 perfect. You can also start to brainstorm your attributes. That's a great exercise. What do I have to do or be to be successful as a visionary? Well, I've got to be forward thinking, and I've got to be energetic and smart, prepared, all those things. What do I have to be a good dad? Got to be a good listener. You've got to be patient. You've got to be fair, loving, all those things. So let me give you a couple suggestions on how you can create your role list as we wrap this up. 1, take a blank piece of paper and make 4 quadrants on it. Now you're going to label the quadrants. The top two quadrants are going to be mind, body, spirit for one, and giving, receiving as the other. Now the bottom two will be personal and professional. Okay, so those are your four categories of roles. Now, some examples of mind, body, spirit, of course. I mean, everyone's going to have a body role, health role for sure. Got to keep your body going. And maybe you have, something like a visionary or, world-class problem solver or something big. We want to think big. Okay. Spirituality, religion would be under this mind, body, spirit category. Now, the next one, giving and receiving category. You can think of, certainly money, financial, might be investor, it could be millionaire, it could be billionaire, it could be wealth builder, however you want to term it, whatever inspires you. Maybe for a college student or maybe like a high school student, it could be money smarts, And you could have giver, volunteer, philanthropist. I put philanthropist in the making, all under the giving and receiving roles. Now let's switch to the personal roles in your bottom left quadrant square. This, of course, would be your, direct family, spouse, relationships with your family, friends. Maybe you're a hobbyist. Maybe you could include that. I'm into backgammon. I really like that. I have to make time for that because I really enjoy it. That's another nice thing about having this role list is it gives you a place card. It gives you a permission to work on that. So that's cool. And all the things that you're into. Now we go to professional. As I said, this is not just your occupation. Maybe it's what you're working towards. Maybe it's your next big opportunity. If you have your own business, or if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, you're going to automatically have a whole bunch of roles that you're going to have to adopt. Like I gave examples like salesperson or networker, computer person. You've got to really adopt all these different hats when you create your own business. All right. Ken Dub is on Fortnite. That's a goal. You're a Fortnite warrior. It could be a role. So this is a way to identify all your roles. You've got a little assignment there. I would love to see your results. If you have any questions, you can DM me, contact me about roles in your role list and why. And I wish you a lot of luck. If you have any questions, of course, DM me. This is a really important self-development exercise to do, and I think it will really help you if you give it a try. So thanks for joining me. See you again. If you want to be an innovator and visionary in your field, you have to manage your time like one. I want to invite you to become a member of the All the Hats We Wear online community. You'll connect with like-minded, goal-achieving people like yourself. It's a support group for work-life balance, productivity, and living with purpose. Visit All the Hats We Wear to log in to our free online community. See you there.